Yes, guys, welcome to Primetime Analysis. I am your host, Victor Onyango. Let me take this opportunity to thank each and everyone who has tuned in. We appreciate your views, we appreciate your subscriptions that you make for us. And please, if you're watching us for the first time, consider taking a second or two to click that subscription button. And remember to hit the notification button so that next time we produce such kind of videos, you get informed. We thank you and we appreciate your support in all kind of way. Now, the finance bill that was just passed yesterday by our parliamentarians has revealed one of the most challenging issues in our country. You know that as a country, we have struggled to find a better strategy through which we can lead this country. We have tried to tinker with the executive by reducing its powers and giving much power to the legislature, but still we realize that we are far away from escaping from this challenge about state capture and the executive capturing independent institutions. But one thing has come to my attention. In fact, it is something that some petitioners today, around 12 petitioners, have gone to the High Court to petition the High Court and ask it to quash the decision that was made by Moses Wetangula on 6th of October regarding which party deserves to be the majority party. Now listen to this clip that Martha Karua talked about in the interview by the NTV.
Do you now recognize William Ruto as president?
No. This is an illegitimate regime.
MPs from the Azimio faction were actually missing from the vote. Was that not a letdown to Kenyans?
That is a letdown, and MPs must prioritize whichever side of the divide they come from. When there is a debate of importance going on, I would expect that an MP would even decline a trip out of the country. But there is a third vote, the third reading. Let's see how they redeem themselves. But also there is that matter of the speaker. Is the speaker of the National Assembly, or the speaker of the Kenya Kwanza regime? Azimio is already saying, we are watching and we will take action. We will not rely on Parliament. Turnover tax mainly has been for people making something above a certain limit. Now it has been brought down. Tell me, a kiosk person who sells those chapatis and mandazis beyond 1,400 shillings a day, what is their profit? Their profit may not even be more than 300. Remembering that in the 9 months of this Kenya Kwanza regime, they have brought NHIF to its knees. How many people are going to stay at home with their pain or die? How many children and elderly people will die because of lack of access? This is a punitive and heartless bill. So I would say watch this space. There is no regime that has ever defeated the collective will of the people.
Now in her comment there, you realize that she's asking whether Moses Wetangula is the speaker of Kenya Kwanza or the speaker of National Assembly. If you look at the decisions that he's been making of late, you'll realize that the last debacle that they had with the Azimio team was the appointment of Sabina Chege, where Azimio proposed to replace Sabina Chege with Mwenje. But Wetangula, through his own means, came up with an excuse that there was a court order that no one has seen up to date. Now, these rulings and finance bill have revealed that National Assembly, especially our parliament, has become the weakest link in our governance structure. Remember, that the main reason why parliament was created was to keep the executive and give it and ensure that checks and balances are maintained. But if you look at our current parliament, there is no space for checks and balances. In fact, the National Assembly has turned to be a choir that only sings the choruses that it has been given by our government. Now, it only means that as a country, we must find a way of handling our national affairs. Let's go back to this court matter where the 12 petitioners, 12 voters have gone to the High Court seeking to overturn the decision that was made by Wetangula that Kenya Kwanza is the majority party. Remember, on the voting day, IEBC declared that Azimio had 171 members of parliament and Kenya Kwanza had 165 members of parliament. And if you look at that equation, it only means that Azimio deserved to be the majority party. How did Kenya Kwanza come to be the winning party? This is because of the state capture of the legislature. William Ruto immediately, he was sure that he was going to be declared the president, started lobbying to find support from members of parliament from affiliate parties that were in Azimio. And this is why he succeeded in breaking down Azimio. So for me, I think our court should come to Kenya's rescue. Because if you remember, the writers of our constitution, they did not contemplate a situation whereby the executive was going to capture parliament. In fact, they copied our system, presidential system, from the United States style. Right now is a perfect example. Joe Biden is the president, but the House of Representatives is led by Speaker McCarthy. Speaker McCarthy, who is the leader of Republicans in the House of Representatives, has the ability to push the Biden administration to implement pro-people issues. And in that case, citizens of the United States cannot feel disenfranchised because they have a representative to speak. And if the executive is trying to perform things that are not worth their time, they are able to check them. So for me, the William Ruto administration has compromised what is called democracy. And if they are believers and they say that they won willingly, for me, I think they should not interfere with parliamentary political parties as they are. And this is why even Azimio protested the fight that they had over Jubilee. As a country, we have many broken issues that are fighting against us. Remember, parliament is already captured. Judiciary is also reeling from state capture. So it leaves Kenyans with few options on what to do. But for me, if the court agrees with these 12 voters and decides to say that in real sense, Azimio was the majority party to be represented in parliament, then one thing is for sure. Many decisions that have been made by this parliament will be reversed. And specifically, the finance bill that has passed, that is punitive, that is scandalous, as Ogadoni Wamushomba puts it, will fall. This is why I think our judiciary must be up to the task and play its real role in building our institutions. And it should separate itself from the executive, because if the executive succeeds to capture our judiciary and to capture our parliament, then we can just say that we are in a dictatorship. Let's wait and see how things turn out. But in my case, I believe these 12 voters have a case that has merit. And also, the question that Martha Karua is asking is also something that is reasonable, because we cannot have a speaker who is overbearing over the members of parliament. And one question I've asked myself, look at the legislature in South Africa. Malema, with just few members of parliament, is always able to keep the government in check. And all of us here know of Malema because of the fracas he causes in parliament. But here in Kenya, what happens? If any member of parliament tries to bring any form of protest in parliament, that will harm them 2 weeks suspension. In fact, there is a time where member of parliament of Ugunja, who is now the minority leader, was suspended for the longest time ever. He almost served an entire session out. So I think another issue that we should look at as a country is standing orders of our parliament. They have been made in such a way that the speaker looks to be a dictator. And for me, national parliament is a house of debate. And when it is a house of debate, there should not be rules created to stifle members from expressing their views the way they want. If you look at even the House of Commons in United Kingdom, they are free. Speaker is always there and members speak without any fear. This is the system that we should also adopt. So that is my parting shot in terms of where we are when it comes to our democracy, status of our democracy, and also when it comes to assessing how our parliament relates with the executive. So let's wait and see how things turn out, and we can continue this discussion down in the comment section. That's my perspective. I don't know what you think about it. Do you think there is a way in which our parliament can be salvaged? If you think there is any way, just comment down in the comment section, and remember to subscribe to this channel and also give us a thumbs up. Thank you, and may God bless you. Thank you.